Ford Saeks has redefined the formula for business success. His efforts have helped companies generate a total of over $1 billion in sales worldwide. From startups to Fortune 500s, Saeks is widely recognized as a business growth innovator. With over 20 years experience, ranging from retail to wholesale, authored several books, awarded 3 U.S. patents, and received numerous industry awards. Tenacity and innovation are what fuels this revenue-generating powerhouse. From grassroots to Google, Ford provides his clients with fresh perspectives and doable tactics to resolve marketing, operations, and growth challenges. As president and CEO of Prime Concepts Group Incorporated, Ford specializes in helping businesses attract loyal and repeat customers, monetize social media, and ignite creativity. We're happy to have him here with us today. So please give a warm welcome to Ford Saeks.
Thank you. So as entrepreneurs and business owners, we all want to stand out from the crowd. We want our brand to be recognized and be the prime resource professional. And I also know we all want to attract more leads, more subscribers, more high-quality leads to our business. And I know we want to make more money. Is that right? Do you believe with me? Yes? Now, whenever I talk about money, it always comes up where they say, no, Ford, I'm not about the money, I just want to make a difference. And I agree. I want to make a difference. I'm grateful for this industry and the opportunity to give back. But if you really want to make a bigger impact, then you have to earn more money. So that's what the morning is going to be about. Now, this presentation is going to be applicable whether you're a small fish in a big pond or a big fish in a small pond, whether you're emerging in your business or whether you're already a successful 6 or 7 or 8-figure earner. So I want you to think about your business. Where are you now? And where do you want to go? What are some of the targets that you want to get to? Because that's what we're going to talk about. How do you bridge that gap to go from where you are now to reach even higher levels of success and profits? But there's a few challenges along the way. Challenges like buyer behaviors have changed, right? You've got Siri and Alexa and voice search, and people have their phones with them all the time, and they're just seconds away from being able to look you up, and how they make decisions have changed. There's increased competition. Just look around this room. For example, how many people out there, raise your hand, if someone calls you tomorrow to get booked for a sales presentation, would you take it? Raise your hand. Anybody? Of course, right? Leadership, sales, teamwork, workplace culture. There's lots of competition, but the good news is there's plenty of business out there. Josh Lichtner was talking the other day, and he said, hey, there's like 150,000 events going on each year. There's plenty of business for all of us. And then, of course, you've got the generational differences, the Gen Y, Gen X, millennials, traditionalists, boomers, the connected generation. And each one of those generations buys differently. And, of course, the main one, there's always going to be someone cheaper. But you never want to buy on price or deliver or sell on price, right? It's always about value. If you want to increase your price, you have to add more value. And, of course, sometimes it's challenging to get more high-value clients. So think about your personal brand. You don't own your brand, unfortunately. Your marketplace owns your brand. Your brand is what your prospects and clients think it is. And you can influence that, and hopefully you are influencing that. But it's really, what does your brand mean in the minds of your clients and prospects? Now, there's 100 million ways to grow a business, and I'm going to give you just 4 categories, because everything that I'm going to be sharing with you this morning and that you're going to learn the rest of this conference really falls under these 4 categories for business growth. They're easy. Number 1, get more customers. But some of us, we don't want more customers. We want more high-value customers, right? So number 1, get more high-value customers. Number 2, increase the average transaction. How do you get your customers and clients to spend more money with you on that first sale and the continuing sales? Which leads me to number 3. Repeat sales. Increase the frequency of sale or referral sales. And the 4th way of growing a business is increase operational performance. So get more customers, increase the average transaction, increase the frequency of sales, and increase your operational performance. But all the strategies and tactics in the world won't help unless you take action, the missing piece. And Mike Rayburn last night in his opening presentation was talking about, you had to have a mindset and you have to take action. But you want to be effective at your action. You don't just want to run east looking for a sunset. You want to be effective, not just efficient. But it's all about taking these ideas and putting them into action. You see, growing up, I spent a lot of time in gated communities. But not like this. More like this. It was 1976, 15 years old, sitting in a cell, 6 foot by 8 foot, thinking, maybe I haven't made the best life choices. And I was trying to think what I could do, and I thought I was going to die before I was 25, and one of the guards gave me a Sony Walkman and a cassette, The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. And that was the first time in my life as a 15-year-old punk that I ever thought that you could do something different. Yeah, Billy Badass here. I thought I was all that in a bag of chips, right? I wasn't anything. I was just a punk. But I, for the first time, got an inspirational and positive message, and it changed my life, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to figure out a way to earn money other than how everybody in my neighborhood was earning money. And of course, the kids in the north end of the Hennepin County Detention Center, they had skills. They were above average in marksmanship, but that was about it. So there's a whole other story there. So the bottom line was I decided what I would do is I would start a painting company. So I made up some flyers, handed them out all over town, and after a couple weeks I had a prospect call to come out and quote the job. And I was all excited. And I thought, holy crap, I don't even own a paintbrush. So I went to the local paint supply store and I said, sir, I just started this new business, can you help me? He took a look at me and he said, kid, get the heck out of my store. Now I didn't realize it at the time. Long hair, army jacket, a 9mm in my back pocket. I didn't have a 9mm, it was a 38. And he said, you don't look like a painter. So he goes over to the shelf and he grabs a quart of paint and he sticks a paintbrush in it and he starts spackling me with paint. I've got paint all over me. He gives me a clipboard and a calculator and instructions, and off I go to the prospect's house. And right as I'm ready to knock on that door, my self-talk kicks in. You can't do this. You don't have any parents. You don't have any money. You're 15 years old. What makes you think? And all that negative crap. But then I had Earl Nightingale in my ear saying, knock on the damn door. So I knocked on the door and I go in and I've got my clipboard and my little painter's cap and we're going through the house and he says he wants flat-based paint here and oil-based paint here and eggshell. And I'm like, paint's paint. I'm writing it all down like, I don't know what this is. And I know some of you have done this. Yes, can you do workplace and team building? And yeah. You just say yes to everything, right? So he goes down the hall and he says, I want the kitchen kilts and I want the windows glazed. And then he points to the ceilings where the ceilings have cracked the ceilings. He says, I want them fixed. And literally everybody, I was literally over my head. So I tell them, I have to go back to my office to prepare the proposal. Back I go to the paint supply store. Paint manager helps me calculate all the materials, equipment, labor, and the price. Zoom back to the prospect's house. The second time the door swings open, the man's wife is standing there. She takes one look at me and steps right behind her husband. And I'm thinking, oh, this isn't gonna go very good. I'm shaking, I have the proposal, and I said, here's the proposal. It's $1,025. I need 50% up front and 50% on completion of the job. She took a look at me, down at the proposal, and back up at me and said, do you have any experience? Now, this was a critical point in my business, which was 2 hours old. Do I tell them that I repainted the whole north wing of the Hennepin County Detention Center? Because every time I would drop an F-bomb, I won't do it here, as punishment, I hopefully won't, Dan, we'll see if I don't, I hope we don't, they would make me paint. So I was a pretty good little painter. She said, honey, write him a check. I got that check for $525. I went and sat in my 1966 Chevelle with no insurance, tags, or title. I'll let that sink in. And I looked at this check, and I thought, I'm gonna figure out how to grow a business. And that was the start of my entrepreneurial journey, but it was really about taking action. So I want you to think about your potential, your personal brand, your specific niche that you're trying to get into. What's preventing you from taking the actions that you really know you need to take? Is it your self-talk? Is it your BS? And we're not talking about bull, we're talking about belief system. And of course, some of your belief systems might be what? BS, right? So I want you to think about your potential, because I know you can all do it. A lot of you are more smarter, talented than I am. There's always going to be someone better. So this is about how you can take your business to the next level. So remember, it's not what you know. I don't want to hear about what you know. It's how well you execute. So let's talk about revenue models. In this business, everybody sitting in this room probably has a different take on a revenue model. So I want to caution you as you learn today and through the rest of this conference that the ideas and the strategies you're going to get may or may not apply to you. You have to ask yourself, is this lifestyle friendly? But I really want to caution you for the people that are speaker parasites. Those are the people that prey on new speakers just trying to get you to spend money, that promise you the world. Now, I'm not talking about the legitimate companies that offer tons of value, like Three Ring Circus, or Darren LaCroix's Stage Time University, or Mark Sharonbrock and Eric Chester's Keynote Camp, or Simon T. Bailey, and I could go on for hours. Those are legitimate resources that are totally valuable. Do your due diligence, though. Check the reviews, check their Google listings. Now, this may not be politically correct, but you don't go to a fat person to become skinny, and you don't go to a broke person to become rich. So just make sure you're not drinking from an empty well when those people are trying to help you. But I'm going to give you a strategy right now that you can use, regardless of your revenue model. You can apply this simple 3-component strategy. The first component is message. What's your benefit message? What problems do you solve that other people will pay to make go away? And are you really articulating that message effectively in all of your personal branding materials? Do you really have it tailored to each particular market? Do you know who your ideal customer is, their buying behaviors, who the influencers are, and who the decision makers are? Because they're different. The message is going to be different to a CEO than it is to a staff person, different to a bureau than it is to the client. You have to tailor your message to the market. Like I said, this is easy, but it's not necessarily easy to implement. And of course, the third component of this system is method. What method are you going to use to get your message to your market? Methods break into a couple categories. You've got digital methods and traditional methods, paid and free, and there's hundreds of them, and they all work. Every method works when you get the right message to the right market. So for example, if you're going to try to send postcards to CEOs, you could have the most compelling message in the world, and you know who your target prospect is, that you know that CEOs are who you're trying to reach. But if you send a postcard, that method isn't going to work. That doesn't mean postcards won't work. It just means the likelihood of that postcard getting to that person, as you know, isn't going to work. Which brings me to your digital footprint. Something I'm known for a little bit, helping people increase and monetize their expertise on their digital footprint. And your digital footprint includes a multitude of areas. First, your website. Look at your website. Look at it on a mobile device. Does it have a contact phone number? Is it easy? Do your forms work? Next component are your search engine rankings. Not just on your name or your company, but your topic, the area of expertise, the problems that you solve. Then you've got your Google business listing. And do you have Google reviews? I have Google reviews, I have Google business reviews, and they help. They help build social proof and credibility. And then you have business directories. You're all a member of this association. When was the last time that you updated your profile and with your value proposition? And not just, I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, I'm an expert, I'm an author. Yes, that's not really what we care about. It's what problems do you solve? How do you actually add value? See, like I said, there's no such thing as a money problem. You want to make more money? Add more value. And of course, the last component of your digital footprint is social media. And I'm going to give you everything you need to know about social media in about a minute and a half. That sound good? Say yes? Okay, ready? Social media websites are just databases. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram. Not Google+, they're not even around anymore. Again. So the key is, what do your social media footprints look like? What do your profiles look like? How are you actually engaging your customers? Because that's one of the best ways to build and dominate your niche, is using social media. And then, of course, I want you to mystery shop. I've been doing this for 25 years with organizations, but I'm going to give you the action to do it. All I want you to do is, after the break sometime, maybe when you go back home, I want you to put yourself in the mind of the prospect. And I want you to go look at your digital footprint. I want you to call your phone and listen to your voicemail message. I want you to fill out your web forms and see what the emails look like. I want you to subscribe to your lead magnets and see what your campaigns really look like. What's your customer journey from awareness, from suspect to prospect, to qualified prospect, to a customer, to a client, all the way up to an advocate? What are you really doing to nurture that process? You know how to do it. You can just go back, mystery shop yourself, make a list, and there's lots of great resources that you can use. And the last little tip here is I want you to use more video. You'll see I started my presentation with a video introduction. Why? 2 reasons. I got introduced at a conference when they said, our next speaker is Ford Saeks. Not funny to me, might have been funny to you. But the way they wrote it, it was freehand, and they didn't connect the letters of my name, so it looked like, instead of AE, it looked like UC, and that wasn't good. So I said, okay, no more of that. I'm going to control as much as I can for my personal brand. Make sure you're using more video on your websites and your marketing, whether you do, like I do, like a lot of you, I produce booking hold videos. As soon as I get a hold, I shoot a quick video and I send it out. I actually create a custom landing page with, if it's a bureau booking, with the bureau's information. And then I send it to the bureau. So all they have to do is send out the link, and it's customized just for them, that client, and the benefits of being there. And you'll see here that people are videotaping here in the room. I've got my friends from Video Narrative filming. I've also got my friends Chuck Gallagher from Primo Production. They're both here exhibitors at the conference. So if you need to get more professional video, I'd highly recommend you check them out. I have a GoPro camera sitting right here over the corner. I always do this. I use gaffer's tape, and I tape it right to the railing when I come out, and I pick it up after. That way I get this great shot from behind stage. So the action step for you is really, how can you use more video effectively? So just put yourself in the mind of the prospect and look, are you going live on LinkedIn? Are you going live on Facebook? Are you repurposing your content? I shoot a video, I put it on YouTube one day, I put it on LinkedIn the next day, I put it on Facebook the next day, I transcribe it, it becomes a blog post, I take the audio track and it becomes a podcast. So one piece of content monetized over multiple mediums. You don't have to produce content every day like Shep Hyken's a master at this, right? I'm not gonna ever do what Shep does. It's great. So, I want you to celebrate your life. This is the greatest business you can be in. Isn't it a great business? Wouldn't you agree? So here's a picture of my son Logan. He's playing hockey. And here's us in the penalty box. You see, someone knocked him down, and surprisingly, within a couple minutes, I ended up in the penalty box, and the other guy got knocked down. Because we always had each other's backs. We were so fun. We were always joking together. We were best friends. He graduated in 2010, and he passed away in 2017 of cancer after 18 months. So I put this fake smile on my face, and he takes a breath, and he gurgles, and he takes another breath, a really deep breath, and says, "Cry, baby." And his eyes started flickering because he was laughing, and so was everybody else in the room. And then he passed away about 20 minutes later. Now, I'm not trying to bring you down. It's not about that, especially me going right after the memorial today. Good timing on that whole thing, right? But that's not the point. The point is I want you to go out and take action because I want you to remember, it's not what you know. It's how well you execute. Thank you very much.